Last winter, here in Durango, Colorado, where we live, there were homeless living in the woods. Well, I hadn't even thought about the homeless here since we arrived from Southern California back in 2013. We hadn't really come across anybody that we could identify as homeless in the streets or wherever. And the story that she told us was very, very disturbing to me. One of the homeless was found frozen to death without protective clothing in temperatures below 30. Here in the winters, although we do have mild winters here, the nights can actually drop in temperatures to as low as minus 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, I started to think about the fact that she's distributing these body bags, these black body bags. They're very heavy, they're very thick, and if you were to get in one, you'd be very warm. You'd be protected from freezing. However, the problem with the body bags is that it serves like a regular sleeping bag. You've got all your possessions in it, they're dry, and you keep yourself warm. But there's no way that in an event where you need to have your arms free, in case of a self-defense, someone comes up to you and you need to defend yourself, you'd be helpless. You're trapped. And that wasn't good enough for me. I'm a crochet fiber artist. So I started to think about it. And our pastor at Durango Christian Church was really excited about the idea that I kind of described to him. Gee whiz, wouldn't it be nice if we could create some kind of a jacket giving the capacity that one could walk, go to the bathroom in, wouldn't that be neat? And so he thought about it. He says, wow, go for it. So I've been working on this since late December. Finally in April, I decided to sketch it out. I'm not an artist, but I did come up with a drawing. So it's been like about 2 months now. And I've been talking to a lot of people because I didn't want to create something that was already out there, already sold. And so I asked people about it, and they pointed me to Google. They pointed me to to their the sporting goods stores and so on. And I found out a lot about what is out there for protecting someone who decides to sleep in the cold, in the snow, in the rain, in temperatures below 30 degrees. And they're beautiful things. But most of them are so bulky and so heavy, a person that's homeless, that's out there just fending for themselves, wouldn't go into one. I found out today that after talking with a few people about the body bag idea, they found that the trash that were put into the body bags were laying everywhere out there in the forest, in the camps and so on that have been abandoned. And so it really enforced the idea that if we are to provide warmth, a protective garment of some sort, it has to be something that can be worn. We believe that a jacket, something that can be converted to strap over the shoulder if you're not wearing it, makes a lot more sense. And so that's why I've designed the wearable sleep bag that's hopefully will be one that will become a tent that pulls up over your head and give you a bit of a protection against the wind and so on. So we're raising funds. We're wanting to be able to perfect the design, get it developed, get it into a prototype, and have it tested by the homeless who live out here in Durango, Colorado. We know that there had been, on January 25, 2016, 2,939 unsheltered homeless in the Denver metro area alone. That startled me. That took me back. I could not believe How many are not able to find shelters in the winter? January 25, 2016 may have been 60 degrees up there, but at night the temperature can drop. It can drop in higher elevations than Denver alone. And there are people who live out in the woods choosing to live out there, out in the open, to fend for themselves. Some of them have very good fortune to have warm coats and so on, maybe several coats put upon themselves so that they can endure the cold, and they found ways to survive. Many of the people coming from other states, however, do not know how to protect themselves in these cold winters. This is where this fund will address the problem. So we know you can help. We know that you have the heart to help someone. Well, you might think about this. Think about the wearable sleeping bag that is used for the homeless. We believe that this could be worn by hikers, bicyclists, and campers. It would be lightweight enough and basically carry you through a couple of seasons. Some of the children of the families that are homeless, they're living in cars. They're doing what they can to get shelter, and they're limited in how long they can stay. So they find themselves out in the cold, out in the open, and only one person has to die for me to know there's a need. I'm sure there are others in other parts of the country where people have been frozen to death. Well, you can shake your head all you want. It's not going to go away. The more and more that the economy changes, the reduction of funding that the government can give to people who are helping those who have no homes, those who are living in the streets, that funding is soon going to go away. Grassroots is the answer to most of these needs, and that's where community compassion outreach is actually taking its stand against people having to die out in the cold. We want to provide the camp provisions that's necessary for them to live outdoors. We're not encouraging homelessness, and we're not sustaining them, but we are providing provisions that will help them be sustained, to be living as free as they want out there, outside of society, trying to fend for their lives with as much provisions that gives them dignity, because they can earn these products by working to distribute them, by working to make some of them, and basically give them sustainability. Dignity and sustainability, those are hopeful attributes that one can be proud to have if you're homeless. And we just hope that some of you would understand that need, would share this vision to reach out and clothe the people, not just for everyday clothing, not to just feed them, but to give them an opportunity to get back into a productive life, distributing, packaging something up, posting it in the mailbox to send away to somebody that's just ordered it. We want to set up a sponsorship program for the homeless. If you don't want to wear one of our wearable sleep bags, you certainly could sponsor someone or two. You could provide them with enough funds that they could buy their own kit to make a tent. There are kits out there that we could get for them. They would make it, and one or two people or more people could support their tent, pay for it, and the homeless would feel like it's something that they have to value because it was something they earned. And that's the key. I've heard that you could make a fire log with the right components of coffee grounds, but you know, think about this provisions, a fire log for their camp, something that would protect them out of the wind, and that would be a personal tent, maybe an additional tent that they could store all their belongings. There are other products too that the homeless in a distribution center or a facility where we can hire them, to organize and so on, and then deliver and post out, shipping into UPS boxes and whatever. Those are ideas that could create an employment base. A man alone, a woman with a family, doesn't have to live such that they are isolated from society. I don't believe that the homeless is going to be a community by themselves. It's a new society. It's a society of the homeless.